play. Game 1. SURI4 versus Paid on Crash Zone Alpha. SURI4 are going to be running Montana, Des Moines, Hindenburg, Gearing, Shimakaze, Grozavoy. Running a 3-destroyer composition, which I didn't expect to see. And then we're going to be seeing a Montana, Des Moines, Minotaur, Henry, Moskva, and a Shimakaze for Paid. Now, Monkey Enjoyer 1 and Monkey Enjoyer 1, Monkey Enjoyer and Monkey Enjoyer 1 is definitely not the most confusing naming in the world, but I very much expect Monkey Enjoyer 1 to be playing a central position in his Minotaur, just trying to like play a solo cap for B. His job is just to sit there and try to force the destroyers back out of there. I mean, basically, the Minotaur in this game is going to be playing the role of a destroyer. He's going to potentially try to cap B, and then I expect him to rotate over to the C cap to play that defensively. Actually, no, he's going to... Looks like the Minotaur might be positioned at the A cap, because they're sending the Shimakaze over with a double... With a Henry, Moskva, and Des Moines. So the Moskva's going to be taking up this static island position. The Des Moines and the Henry look to be charging up this side. They're going to be matched by a Des Moines going over here. And a second Des Moines. I don't like a Des Moines in this position. This is a Moskva spot. A Des Moines here. Oh. Are you taking this angle? Yeah. Alright, that's very bold. Are you going to be trying to contest B? Are you going to position here? Because this is risky. This is very risky. And also, I don't think you have full coverage over the radar with that. Shimakaze Hindenburg for SURI4 is going to be their holding flank over at A. They look like they're doing a hard BC focus. And they're going to be matched by the Henry and the Minotaur. I think the Henry and the Minotaur win this flank against the Hindenburg and the Shimakaze, especially with no battleship battle crawler Montana. As yeah, this is a heavy BC play from both teams with a couple of ships as a kiting force on A. So the Gearing's going to be dropping that smoke sheet early to stop Master Joris, to smoke Master Joris's approach. Looks like the Gearing's going to be reversing himself into the cap. Yeah, the Minotaur has no interest in the big cap. This is a free cap. The Moskva does have him in radar range, but there's nothing to shoot at apart from the Montana, who I don't think has an angle anymore. Yeah, he no longer has an angle. Moskva does take a fair chunk already from... I think that must have been the Montana, actually. He's got that spotter playing up looking for the early salvo. Grozavoy going to be dropping a smoke screen to try and protect his Des Moines, who is spotted in the open, trying to make that crossing. Does take a couple of salvos towards him, but he managed to dodge them all. The Shimakaze of Agent Endrin is going to be spotting the Grozavoy. The Grozavoy is just going to be dumping that smoke screen across it. Are you going to beach? You need to be very careful to not beach on that little island there. And now you are cut off with no support. If that Shimakaze spots you now, you have nothing to protect you. Des Moines got forced back. Des Moines gets massively chunked. Torpedo wall going to be dodged successfully. But this Grozavoy is completely on his own now. Shots in from the Moskva. And the A cap is taken by the Paid Shimakaze. And the Shimakaze is just going to charge towards it. Well, in reverse, but still. Going to try and spot that Grozavoy. Let's take a look. B cap was taken by the Gearing of SURI4. And now the Minotaur is taking the A cap. And he's just waiting to see if he gets spotted. And then as soon as he gets spotted, he pops that radar, tries to take down the Shimakaze of Els Le Reine des Neiges. Henry versus Hindenburg trading in action right now. Henry doing the Henry special. WWSS. Where's your salvo going to land? Let me just not be there. Henry ripple firing his guns to try and spread out his damage so he actually lands a couple of shells rather than nothing. Radar out from the Minotaur. Going to be finding the Shimakaze. The Shimakaze is going to be stirring in and minimizing the amount of damage he's taken. Hindenburg opens up on the Minotaur, but he's shooting HE, so any damage he gets with this is probably going to be mostly healed up. Henry also opening up on the Shimakaze, trying to force him further and further back. Now, once this radar goes down, the Shimakaze has a large advantage for the spotting on the Minotaur. The problem is they don't really have anything to actually get rid of that. They can force it back, and then they can use the Gearing and the Shimakaze to try and take that cap. But, again, they can just turn back in and radar when the next radar is available. Grozavoy is blocking this cap currently, but the Shimakaze is going to march towards him. Here we see The Des Moines and the Henry have pushed around. Gonna catch the Grozovoi. Grozovoi might beach into this island once again. Needs to be very careful of his approach. Try not to drift into it. Manages to not drift into the island, but he's still full broadside to a Henry and a Des Moines, taking chunks out of him. Will heal some of that back with his 2 heals. Gets a fire running. Engine boost running. Trying to get around that corner. Not sure if his Damacon available. No, it looks like he doesn't have his Damacon. Looks like he already used it. And the Des Moines is also being forced back quite heavily. So that's full control of that cap. Dream Yeet and the Moskva. That's a fantastic name. Dream Eater. For those of you who are unaware, Dream Eater is the CST leader. The Wargaming CST guy. So Dream Eater, a play on that. Gearing, going to be parking himself in this cap. Should be able to take it quite happily before the Minotaur's radar comes back up. Minotaur needs to be very careful to dodge these torpedoes, but I think he's fine. Henry getting forced back by the Hindenburg still, because you have like a cross-top coming from both the Shimakaze and the Gearing. Cap is being held right now. That's a 2 cap to 1 advantage. However, the advantages over at the C cap are going to be heavily outweighing any possibilities of that being a beneficial, because now we see that this Des Moines has got himself into a bit of a nasty situation. He's being farmed down by both the Henry and the Des Moines of Paid. Big chunks into the broadside. And now he's forced forward. And he's going to beach onto this island again. He's still going to be caught broadside of this. He's going to have to reverse again. And he is reducing the amount of room to maneuver he has with every reverse salvo he has. Because if he turns left, he gets stuck on that. And then he's forced forward. And he's just going to get farmed and farmed and farmed. Because he's still being spotted by this Shimakaze. Because the Des Moines is still firing in the open. And there is absolutely no way for any counter damage to be applied by the Montana of Nemo or the Des Moines of Laxative. Because they have just parked behind this island very successfully. Torpedoes are going to be coming towards them, but the Henry and the Des Moines have both dodged those. And they're still just farming down the Des Moines of Master Joris. Montana of Pepega Sniper is looking for an approach up the stern. Gearing going to be dumping torps towards them. We see a bit of HE spam coming from the Hindenburg as well. This Des Moines is in a very vulnerable position. Master Joris looks like he might go down very soon. Right, there goes Master Joris. So we see that the Pega Sniper has got himself into the B cap, and I think he's only spotted by the Gearing right now. Gearing just trying to casually slink away. So the Des Moines of Laxatives could potentially get some resets onto this Montana. Or the Hindenburg, for that matter. However, the Gearing gets spotted. No, the Gearing opens up himself. That was an unnecessary opening up. Like, there were shots coming in from both the Hindenburg. He doesn't take any damage, though. He's getting some free damage in, I suppose. Crossfire out onto the Montana from this Montana. Let's see if he manages to land very much. Small hit. Doesn't get very much onto the Des Moines. Shot the belt armor. And now we have a Henry and a Des Moines point blank against the Montana. Crossfire still coming in from the Moskva and the other Montana. This is a dead Montana. He's just YOLO charged to his death. And the Henry's going for the torp rush. Torps are out. Shooting HE at the stern. Going to be switching to AP for the next couple of salvos. Misses the torps. But he can just now delete this Montana with the next AP salvo. Or not, because he outturned the turrets. So the Montana might get another salvo out, but he doesn't have a shot on the Des Moines. The Montana deletes the Henry with a back gun. Oh. Well then. Okay. So, Shimakaze has this cap for free now. Des Moines popping a radar to try and catch the Grozovoi. Does manage to catch him in the radar range. He's now going to be crossfired by both the Moskva and the Des Moines. See if they get a bit of damage onto him. Radar out from Laxative Des Moines to try and catch the Shimakaze. We'll catch him as well. Torpedoes coming out towards the Des Moines. Meanwhile, on the other flank, we're going to be seeing a torpedo salvo onto the Minotaur. Is going to just dodge it. He's going to be opening up against the Hindenburg. The Hindenburg is very low and being focused down by the Montana and the Minotaur and the Henry. Shimakaze gets away with his life. Doesn't take too much damage. The Hindenburg, on the other hand, it looks like he will be going down to this sustained fire from the Minotaur and the Montana and the Henry, which leaves the Shimakaze as well. The Shimakaze now going to be forced completely out. So now we see all three caps are being held right now by PID, and they are applying the pressure and forcing them back at all flanks. Because it turns out that the 3 destroyers isn't going to hold back a complete face-rolling force. If you just keep pressing W with all of your cruisers, you can just force them back. If the destroyers don't land their torpedoes, because, like, you know, they're well played and they have hydro and all these kinds of things, they have been making clinical advancements and not managing to land much in their torpedoes. The DPM of all these cruisers combined, just simply winning out against the Hindenburg. Shimakaze caught by the Minotaur's radar, full broadside to it. Shimakaze drifting along the border with the Pro Strats, trying to make himself last as long as possible. Hindenburg with the next salvo does, however, catch him. Let's look back over here. We see a Des Moines has been forced back. He's now still crossfired. The gearing also got taken down at some point. So this Des Moines is now in a 5-way crossfire. We've got the Minotaur, we've got the Moscow, we've got the Shima, we've got the other Des Moines, we've got the Montana. And that is a clean game 1 for paid actors. Set winner, put it on the winner scene. And then we will go figure out what our game 2, what our second map is. Our second map is going to be on Sea of Fortune. So Sea of Fortune will be, you know, this little this is a Sea of Fortune. Still looking forward to the possibility of the secret gross occur first into the middle of the B cap from the south spawn strategy that we still haven't seen a single gross occur first of. Just looking in the background, like seeing if we can still catch our last series of the day. We might be able to get into it because it's about. I think they're starting early because I don't want everyone to have to wait around. Because obviously, you know, if you're going to be sitting waiting an hour between games, things get a little bit frustrating. We have the luxury of just being able to dot between series. They're currently trying to get Route to rename himself if they pay the doubloons. Yeah. Alright, obviously, once again, I have to point out that the UI is broken as fuck, and the actual winner of that game was SURI4, but the UI is broken as fuck. I mean, no, the actual winner of that game was fucking, like, paid, but, you know, it's the UI is fucking broken as fuck. So I'll just switch it for now. You know, let's switch it for now, and then I'll have to switch it again when we get into game 2, okay? Right. Alright, we're readying up for a second game. Everybody getting into position. Let me switch over the overlays. It was actually this team that's in the lead, so let me apply. Let me go on to the next scene. And game overlay for the next game. Let's go. Syria versus Paid, game 2 of 3. Well, 2 of the best of 3. And this is going to be taking place on Sea of Fortune. Syria are going to be running Yamato, Des Moines, Henry 4, Hindenburg, Moskva, Gearing. Paid are going to be running Montana, Des Moines, Minotaur, Henry, Moskva, Z52. So the Z52 we'll probably expect to see in these positions here and here, as we saw in the last game. Other possible options include here, somehow, if you just want to go in a really aggressive position and hope that your team protects you. Des Moines probably going to be positioned here, here, potentially here, potentially here, potentially here. Moskva position is probably going to be here, up here, over here, down here, and even over here if you really want to. So, let's have a look at the initial deployments. We're going to be seeing that, I can't remember which team it is. Syria are going to be sending a Des Moines, a Gearing, a Hindenburg to the C flank. I think they're going to send this Des Moines to the big cap here, and then they're going to be leaving the Yamato and the Moskva. Sorry, no, the Henry and the Moskva over to hold this flank. The Yamato is actually going to go over to help C. Henry and Moskva and Z52 we're going to be heading over to A flank for the red team, and they're going to be backed up by Des Moines, going to be taking this anchor and radar position over at B cap. The Minotaur is going to be potentially trying to contest C, or at least holding back the Gearing. Moskva's taking a very weird approach. He's actually just like going over here maybe, and the Montana is going to be taking up this island maybe. Interesting. Once again, we see the anti-submarine warfare planes, which are definitely part of the WoWs Classic tournament. There was definitely anti-submarine planes in 0.16, 8. Monkey Enjoyer 1, going to be Monkey enjoying his rock here. It's an interesting angle for this island. Usually we see them parked up more along here, but this gives them much more freedom with his firepower to farm up over these without risking being spotted from this angle. The only problem is if what? That's an interesting approach. I'm not seeing this island used that way very often. Okay, Gearing going to be going wide of Sea Cap. Decided he's not interested in trying to contest it early with the possibility of a Minotaur or a Moskva radaring. Z52 Agent Entrant is going to be making his way to this island and then dumping himself into this cap. Something in a position to radar him. Yes, they have the Moskva in a position to radar him, and they do have a positioned Yamato to shoot him, but other than the Yamato, there's not really much that's going to be able to reset him. I don't think the Des Moines has an angle. I think this is too high for him to lob. Torpedo's out expecting something to be positioned there to try and stop him. Right, Moskva's going to be popping his radar. The only thing that I can see that has shots is that Yamato, so you should get like one salvo, which the Z52 can like dodge. There's the salvo. The Z is dodging by staying perfect. No, he's reversing. Takes a single over pen. Actually, that might have been that looks like 2 shells. Now the Moskva comes barreling round, does slap him into the back, breaks his engine. But he should be able to cap for free now. Unless the Moskva gets in a hider range and the Yamato wants to reset him again. The problem is, can anything get into a position to stop this Moskva charging him? We do have the Des Moines here in a position to stop him, but he's very broadside. And I'm not sure like what his plan is once he does that. Because he's now broadside, so he has to like give up this spot and come around here. But that puts him at risk from... I suppose not really. He's not going to be spotted by the Henry. The Henry's too far away to catch him firing. So I think he's actually alright. Force back the Moskva. Zed's going to get back into the cap. Henry's going to sit and trade with each other for a bit. This Moskva can actually help out with the trading. So now, we're going to see A-Cap being flipped in favour of Paid, and there's not going to be much of a response to it. Who's this Yamato shooting at right now? Oh, he's shooting at the Z52 again. Are you going to get the reset? You did not. So, points now ticking in favour of Paid. And all they lost was about 5,000 health on the Z52 for it. Rather passive gameplay so far. However, the Gearing does get caught by a Minotaur radar. Or a Moscow radar. One of the two. Basically, you're caught by a radar. Loses his engine. Loses half of his health. The Minotaur, however, gets shot at from across the map. Not going to be landing very much. Somebody just got chunked. A Des Moines just got chunked somewhere. This Des Moines just got very heavily chunked. I'm not sure what by. It was it the Moskva? Was it that? It must have been the Montana. Got a little bit too far forward, and now, after losing all of that health, he's now going to reverse around the corner. He's like, maybe that was a bad idea. So now the Z52 knows that this Des Moines has been softened up a bit, can potentially park himself into this cap here, and just have to, the Henry will do a lot of damage to him though. There's not really much of a safe spot to take this. Although if he's already being radared by the Des Moines, in that case he can just take it for free, because once the Des Moines radar's over, there's absolutely nothing the Des Moines can do to force him back out, because this Des Moines here will be sat waiting for him. And if he comes out, he dies. Even a trade's worth it then, because they'll be up 2 caps to 0. So this Moskva needs to make a play. He knows that the Z52 is leaving. Are you in radar range of him right now? You are. Alright, so maybe maybe not. Okay, maybe he can stop the cap being flipped. Still seeing the Henrys trading back and forth. Looks to be pretty even right now. Although if you turn full broadside to a reload boosting Henry with AP, that's probably not going to do. You lost your engine for that. Lost about half of your health for that turn. Not really worth. Z52 parked himself into that B cap. And the Des Moines of Monkey Enjoyer 1 has parked himself in a position to deny this Des Moines exactly as we were discussing. Meanwhile, this gearing, once again, is getting caught by Minotaur and Moskva radars, getting forced further and further back. The Hindenburg also taking a lot of damage on the way. Z52, the Des Moines going for the blind resets on him. Or he's caught in the radar, I'm not sure. The Moskva not interested in trying to get a reset. And the Z52 is going to get out of B with the cap for free. However, the Moskva has pushed around this corner, and we now have an interesting situation. The Moskva still isn't shooting at him. He's trying to move up this island. Right now, well, you know, this is the benefit of having Observer. We can see exactly where that ship is, and the Moskva's lack of interest in it. Shots in from the Des Moines on the turn of the Moskva. See if we can catch him, do much damage. Yeah, could have been a lot worse. The SURI4 Henry being forced further and further back. Looks like he's turning in to have another go. But oh, there we go. We see now the Moskva against the broadside, Moskva broadside versus Des Moines. And now I think he also has to worry about this Henry potentially. If the Henry can get into a position to shoot him here. Also the Z52 torpedoes. I'm not sure if any of these can catch. Oh yeah, they can definitely catch. Yeah, that's that right. This could be a very dead Moskva. 3 torpedo hits. They are Z52 torps, so they don't have like the alpha of say a Shimakaze, but they still hurt. He's not quite dead yet, but he's not exactly alive. Flicking back over to C, we see the Montana charging through to try and like get a third cap. You know, must win harder. But he's pushing into gearing, Des Moines, Yamato, and a Hindenburg, and he's going to take a lot of damage for it. I'm not sure what he's looking for while he's in here. We do see the Moskva does go down, and we also see that the Henrys have also traded, and this Henry is down. They have lost complete control of this side of the map. They have nothing here now. A and B caps are owned by Paid, and then they just send all of their ships up and around here, and they have a complete envelopment. Pepega Sniper is going to be marching further and further forward, trying to get himself to safety behind this island before he gets burned down completely by the Hindenburg, and the Yamato, and the Des Moines. Secondary's opening up on the Des Moines. Where are your guns turned right now? Straight at the Des Moines. Are you going to get a reload in before you die? Most certainly you are. How much damage will you be able to do, though? Oh, that was a lot. It's going to take 2 torpedoes, the Montana is, from the gearing. But he's, unlike the Moskva, actually, no. Luckily, friendly fire isn't on, but it may as well have been for all damage. Right, well. So, Paid, currently with 2 cap advantage and a 2 ship advantage, going to be just completely encircling this cap. 1 second. Yeah. Monkey Enjoyer and the Minotaur Fish are just going to farm down this Yamato now. Unless, you know, the Yamato decides, no, actually, fuck you. He did decide, no, actually, fuck you. He didn't do that much damage. Moskva takes down the gearing in the corner. And now we see this slow envelopment. Moskva's going to come in through here. Henry's going to push up around the back. Z52 is going to sit and farm the Des Moines from there. Minotaur and Moskva are going to be pushing around this way. We just see them being forced further and further back. No way back into the caps. No way back into the game. Yamato being farmed down. Des Moines being farmed down even faster. Crossfire coming in on the Des Moines Monkey Enjoyer 1, but I think he's getting away with it. Another salvo coming out from the Yamato trying to do something to Des Moines. Managed to not catch very much at all. The Des Moines of Laxative goes down. Down 2 ships, the Hindenburg and the Yamato, trying and desperately at least take down this Des Moines to come with them. Minotaur opening up, taking chunk after chunk, 2k salvo every time onto this Yamato. And there goes the Yamato, and SURI4 gets zeroed. Congratulations to Paid, they have gone 2-0 in this series. And we will be going on to our last